On Twitter, a heated and passionate debate on the merits of marijuana, specifically to treat concussions. Some are against it, and others, like Kyle, for example, tweeted, "I think marijuana will have a positive impact on players who dealt with concussion-type syndromes, just needs to be tested." Actually, those tests are happening right now. You see, recently, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell entertained the possibility that the league, notorious for its zero tolerance on drugs, may allow players to use medical marijuana to treat brain injuries. Many say the shift in policy has to do with the concussion lawsuit against pro football. Joining me now from New York are Marvin Washington, a veteran NFL player, and he's joined the lawsuit against the league, and Tomas Kiki, co-founder of Canna Life Sciences and Marijuana Advocacy Group. Marvin, I want to ask you first. You were a player for a decade plus years. You suffered a lot of defensive blows. Talk to me about those injuries.
Well, the thing is you're going to suffer a lot of blows playing football anyway, but the concussions and the sub-concussions that come along with the position that I played is not being talked about because the sub-concussions happen every play. The concussions happen maybe once or twice a game, but the NFL never acknowledged or made it a point to tell us that, you know, we were in danger, our long-term health was at risk when we were suffering these concussions. And so that's why you have this concussion lawsuit right now.
And Tomas, I know that I apologize for mispronouncing your last name. I know it's Kaikis, Tomas Kaikis. The National Institute of Health tapped your company to develop a medical marijuana drug to treat CTE. What is it about cannabis that shows promise in treating brain trauma?
Well, we're looking at a specific chemical within the cannabis plant that does not get you high, and that chemical is called cannabidiol, CBD. It's different from the THC that everybody knows about that gets you high. This does not get you high, and early studies are looking, that we found are looking that cannabidiol is a neuroprotectant, and that neuroprotectant is basically like a mini helmet for the brain cell. And so we want to be able to expand on cannabidiol, bring cannabidiol to the forefront, not only with awareness, but also create cannabidiol-like molecules that are better than cannabidiol and get that passed through the FDA drug process.
Tomas, I want to read you a tweet quickly, and I want you to respond to it. So, concussion and marijuana both cause injury to the brain and have no place in sports. The NFL should stand firm on pot policy. How do you respond to that, Tomas?
Well, I mean, I think it all comes down to education. When there is a body of science that says that cannabidiol is an antioxidant and a neuroprotectant, and when the U.S. government has a patent on this technology, then you have to follow the science. And, you know, the NFL has to follow the science, too. You know, there's part of the plant, the THC, it does get you high, but the CBD does not. And we're focused on the CBD. And so, you know, there's two sides of this argument. I mean, marijuana has been plagued by taboo throughout the course of its history, and I think public policy and public awareness and public education needs to change for there to be a real understanding that cannabidiol does in fact work.
You know, Marvin, I see you shaking your head right now, so you obviously disagree with that tweet that I just read. But, you know, there are real concerns that the NFL won't be able to police this pot policy. So how do you propose that they do that?
Well, there's several ways you can do it. You can go with, like, there's the bill that's in the House right now. It's called the Charlotte's Web bill. And it says that, you know, they can reschedule, even decriminalize it, depending on the level of THC, because THC is the one that gets you high. CBD is the one that has a medical benefit. So if it has less than 0.3 amount of THC, then it can be decriminalized or rescheduled, and then it can be put out to the public for consumption. But there's two sides to this, and the two sides is recreation and medical. We're concentrating on the medical side and the CBD as an antioxidant and as a neuroprotectant for the brain.